Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. It is Sunday night. It is All Hallows Day. It's the day after Halloween. Hopefully, you didn't get possessed by any demons. Hopefully, you're still alive. Didn't get killed by any nighttime slashers. If you did, you wouldn't be hearing me say any of this anyways. Hopefully, you had a good Halloween. I had a very chill Halloween. Halloween in the COVID generation pretty much doesn't exist anymore. Hopefully you guys are hearing me, and hopefully I'm not screwing things up like I tend to do on these streams by myself. How are you all? Let's go ahead and see who's in the chat. Eric Breen is first again. Look at that. He's good to see you, Breen. Good to see you first twice in a row. I knew you could do something 2 times if you tried. Melissa's here. Congratulating Eric Breen, 'cause she's always a good sport. Skip and Tosh in the house. Good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you could make it. RDV is here. He says, woohoo. Did I have enough enthusiasm on that? Let's see. Skip says, at least my name is a nickname of the old black Macintosh notebooks. So close enough. I didn't know that's what Skip and Tosh is from. Is that really? That little NBC. Do, 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 do. The more you know. Let's see. Sip and Toss says RDV. And Skip says, that's what I do. Capri Suns. Capri Suns are delicious. My biggest problem with Capri Suns is like you suck it down like 3 slurps and it's gone. It's like a little packet. You're like, what the hell happened to this thing? Oh man, they're tasty. Eric says, I wonder if Ash will read Batgirl number 50 if we ask real nice. Well, I would be happy to read Batgirl number 50. If I had a digital copy, someone provided. I don't have a digital copy. You know how that goes. Although, I don't know if I wanted. I guess I could just acquire through Vankman means a digital copy. Let's see. Melissa says, hello, guys. Skip says, that might take him all night to get through. All the commentary. Well, I already did a video on it, Skip, so I kind of got the commentary out of me. But it'd be fun to read. I really want to read it. I really want to read that book in like SJW voice. Like in all up speak. Because I'm Batgirl. I am drinking wine tonight. Because I'm deciding I'm going to be a lot more foo-foo going forward. No, that's not really the case. I had some leftover wine in the fridge. This is Moscato. It's not really my favorite wine, but it needs to go. That's kind of really sweet and fruity. Bankman would probably like it, actually. He doesn't like regular wine, but he would probably like this. It's nice and sweet. It's like Kool-Aid. Bankman, you like Kool-Aid, don't you? Let's see. RDV says, so I read Year Zero, and I absolutely hated it. Why did you read it? Is that the zombie book that's out by AWA? Is that the Year Zero that I'm thinking of? I can't remember if that's Year Zero or 0 Year. If it is the one that I'm thinking of with the zombies, yeah, I gave that a hard pass. I know everyone was shouting Benjamin Percy's name when he left DC Comics and was like, oh, Benjamin Percy. Wow. And, he had this great idea for Nightwing and, DC pissed him off. So he left and he ran over to Marvel. And now Marvel gave him X-Force and Wolverine. And, Benjamin Percy's going to change the world. And I was like, oh, all right. And I didn't know who Benjamin Percy was. And everything that I just said, that's how I heard it. And I said, that sounds right to me. Like, Didio hates Nightwing. Benjamin Percy had a real good idea with Nightwing, apparently. They didn't want to do it, so he left in a fuss, went to Marvel. I couldn't get past 5 issues of X-Force. Holy shit. And I did read the first issue of Wolverine because I am a big Wolverine fan. And it wasn't as bad as the X-Force by any means. It was a lot better. But I don't get why people are impressed with Benjamin Percy. Now, granted, I haven't read his whole catalog, but he did not impress me over there at Marvel with the X-Force and the Wolverine books. I'm just like, especially X-Force is bad. So yeah, when the Year Zero came out, I was like, no thanks. But that's just me. And you know me, I'm prejudiced. There's lots of books where I've said that about, and it turned out to be my favorite book, Hawkman. So maybe I'm just an idiot. Let's see. Skip says, oh dang, I haven't read it. So glad Walking Dead is much better. Why are you stopping Walking Dead to pick up another zombie books? You're so weird, Venkman. Let's see. Oh, dang it. YouTube did the thing where it skips through the chat. Now I got to scroll up and find out where the hell I was. I don't know why it does that. Oh, geez. Well, at least that's a good thing, maybe, because it realizes how much of a chat I need to get through. So step it up, Ash. Let's see. Ash making noise before the music. Yeah, you get to hear some behind the scenes stage stuff, whatever you call it. Let's see. RDB says each chapter should have had their own book. Instead, they tell you the stories of the issues as they go. Man, AWAs hasn't been winning me over. It's fine. It's what it is. There's so many comics out today. I'm just like, you need to make a big splash. You can't just come out with like something average and just, hey, look, there's another book. Like, and people get excited about it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that hotel book is amazing. And, oh, that red border or whatever the thing, like, and I'm like, yeah, you know how many times I hear that when a new book comes out? Do you remember that book that came out? It came out on Black Label. It was a fantasy book. It was like a dark fantasy book. And everyone was just like, oh, this book is so good. It's so amazing. And like 3 issues down the road, everyone had stopped talking about it. I can't even remember the name of the book. But man, those first 3 months it was coming out, everyone was like, this is one of the best books out there. You got to read this book. It's so amazing. Remember that book, Die, by Kieran Gillen? Remember Die? I read it on this show here. The first 5 issues. Remember that? Like, went into like 5th printing. Everyone's like, Die! Oh my God, it's the best book ever! And then crickets. I don't hear anyone talking about Die. It is the new comic book enthusiasm. When I was into board games, by the way, for those of you that don't know much about Ash, I'm sharing a little bit about my life. So I stepped away from comics right before the comic crash, and I was not collecting comics for like 20 years. And I was into other hobbies in the meantime. And one of the hobbies that I was into, and I still very much love, is board games. Specifically like hobby board games, not like Sorry and Monopoly. Like, for those of you that know, you know. Anyways, I'm very big into that. I was really big. I also played competitive Magic for a while, and I'm a big gamer. So, where was I even going with this? Oh yeah, in the board game scene, there's a term out there that I'm forgetting at the moment because I'm struggling to even remember where the hell I'm going with my story. But it's basically, what was it called? I just knew what it was, and so I started wanting to talk about it. And but basically it's like it's you're into like the newest bestest thing, whatever the new thing is. Fuck, killing me that I can't remember the term. God, I hate getting old. But it's basically like, oh, there's a new game out, like the new hotness. You're just like, oh, and everyone's playing it and loving it. Oh, I can't talk about this until the next new game comes out. That game is like, who, what? That game? Oh, yeah, we're done with that. Everyone just moves on. This is what it reminds me of in comics now. It's the same mentality where it's like, oh, so-and-so, Donny Cates doing a new book. It's Crossroads. It's the greatest thing. And then like 4 issues down the road, we'll just be like, what? What? Oh, yeah, that book. We're done with that. We moved on. Let's see. I got to skip past. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Skip says, right after you said, see ya Tuesday, I was thinking, you're probably going to talk to me tonight in the chat. Wait, what? I don't know what that's about. That's cool. Just finished dinner, doing some reading now, then some writing while Ash reads. You're going to write while I read? Man, you have a powerful mind, my friend. I could not write while people are like, I can't consume and produce at the same time. But you're a talented fellow, so that's why I love you. RDB says, I'm reading Walking Dead. I am Negan. Awesome. Skip's reading Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers run. Okay. That's cool. I eventually want to get to those someday. Those awkward 7 minutes of silence before the music where we hear Ash. I cherish these awkward moments. Well, it's not like I was doing anything untoward. It wasn't like I was, what was that guy's name? Jeffrey Toobin. I wasn't Toobin. I was just walking around, petting my dog and getting my drink. Why? What did you hear? No, I'm just kidding. Just found out that Kentucky's governor wants a full lockdown again, but can't because of unsettled lawsuits from the last one. Good times. Dude, is he a Democrat? I'm betting he's a Democrat. What is up with these freaking just crazy, hardcore authoritarian leftists? Like, it's like COVID came out and every leftist governor was just like, yes, it's on. Like, they were just like, hardcore. We can finally stop pretending that we're for the people. We can just go hardcore lockdown. I think they're so mad that Donald Trump is the president. Otherwise, they would just be like martial law. It's crazy. This election is going to be very interesting. Computer Robots is in house. He says, is it the usual Computer Robots picking up on RDV and making snarky comments to him yet? What? I don't understand these comments. Talhelam is here. Comics Quirks with Jimmy was also here. Took a look at the story yesterday. I couldn't really find anything to clean up. Did a perfect job. Okay, so he's having side conversations. Let's see. Don't tell Ash that we can hear him. I hope you can hear me. Oh, you're talking about before when I was being tubing. When I was tubing before the stream. Anyone who hasn't seen Sour Cape's Batgirl edition, go watch it. After story time, of course, is Eric Breen. Yes, Eric Breen made a rare appearance. You can catch him on the Ash on Comics channel. He and Vankman, and then Englentine even made a appearance. We talked about Batgirl 50. I'm trying to keep everything together. That was really tough doing 4 people. I don't want to do 4 people again. That's too many. I think 2, 3 maximum is best. That was and plus it was a big book. I should have done that as like two separate things. But live and learn. I do like the Sour Capes thing. I really want to make that work. So, you guys were fantastic. If there's anyone else likes the idea of tearing into a bad book, thinks that they could be a contributor on Sour Capes, where we don't read the book. We just basically dissect a really shitty book and make fun of it on a stream, and everyone gets to enjoy. I think that's a fun way to do things. Let's see. Skip says he checked it out. It was hilarious. Awesome. Glad to have someone got some entertainment. Skip is drinking sarsaparilla, and I'm instantly jealous. Damn you. I love sarsaparilla, but can't find good sarsaparilla. It's hard. This wine's pretty tasty, though, so I don't feel too bad. RDB says, I actually talked to my pasture. Wow, good. That's good. That's making headway. Oh, I should read more. And got the name of the brand of wine they use for communion. Well, usually they don't use like real wine. I guess every church is different. Some of them just use like grape juice. It's really not important that you drink wine. It's the symbolism. It's the act. It's the ceremony to remember what Christ did. So you pretty much could probably have water, I guess. Like, it wouldn't really matter. Let's see. Oh gosh, I hate how the chat keeps skipping down to the bottom. It's almost like YouTube's like, get on with it. They're tired of hearing you talk. RDB says, oh yeah, we got there. So this was a few years back. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you talked to your pastor a few years ago. Quirks says, I really liked Year Zero and Wolverine. Of course you did, Jimmy. Of course you did. You should actually go pick up Batgirl 50. You will probably love it. RDB says, I currently forget the name, but it's sweet like a dessert wine. It's called Welch's Grape Juice. Was that the name of it, RDB? Computer Robot says, I think Englentine and Eric Breen are going to top 10 Marvel and DC Christmas books. Oh, that'd be fun. Melissa's talking about ethno-supremacists again. Jimmy says, The Last God. Yes, thank you. That was the name of the book that I had forgotten. The Last God. At least someone hasn't forgotten it. Like, I guess Jimmy remembers. That's good. Eric says, did Ash just have a stroke? I just had a Biden moment. I'm off my Adderall. I can't keep coherent thoughts when I'm not on my Adderall. Also, I don't have my teleprompters. It's tough. It's really tough being president of the United States. Computer Robots, do it, Mr. Breen. Review the top 10 Marvel and DC books next month. Let's see. Yep, memory loss is a symptom. My memory has sucked since I had one. Oh, I bet. And the thing about my memory loss is it's like the short-term memory. Like, I remember things from 40 years ago or whatever. It's keeping things in that short term. Like if you say, hey, remember this number, like a minute later, I'll be like, oh, dang, I already forgot it. It's like, I'm very bad on these things. So that's what happens is as I'm talking and we're doing this, I'll start thinking about, talk about this thing. And I'll kind of like put it in my little, your little memory bank to the side. You're like, okay, cool. I'm going to talk about this. And then I start to segue into it. And as I get to the segue and I'm like, okay, now pull that thing. Oh wait, it's gone. It's like the South Park. When you guys watch South Park, and it's gone. When they go to the bank, anytime you deposit the money, and it's gone. Melissa says, I hope Trump gets reelected. Everybody hopes Trump gets reelected, Melissa. Even the people who hate him, they just don't know it. they just don't know it. Everyone does, man. The world is hoping as well. Holy shit! I've just been seeing. You cannot rely on mainstream media. They will not show you. But if you can go to alternative news sources, especially foreign news sources, because they're covering foreign news, and see what like the rest of the world, especially like third world countries, they're just like, God, please let Trump win so that the world doesn't turn into fucking Nazi Germany. Like, that's kind of how they feel. Like they just know. I mean, Obama was the biggest wartime president in U.S. history. He dropped so many bombs that we ran out of bombs. I don't know if you guys knew this. This is true. This is not me making shit up. It's 100% true, documented. Under Obama, we dropped so many bombs that we ran out of bombs. And Obama waged more war than any president in the history of the United States. Scary. It's just the rest of the world doesn't want that. They don't like the idea of U.S. drones flying over their. Imagine this. Imagine living in a world where another country had robot planes flying over you, dropping bombs. Like, how scary. You think it's like we live in terrorism, right? And all the people that are anti-Trump, they're just like, oh my God, he's worse than Hitler. Why? Because he said grab him by the pussy? Like, and he wasn't even saying that he was doing that. He just said that women said that. He just said that women would let you do that. He's so terrible. But yet we don't know what it's like to live in a world where a foreign leader is flying robot planes over our heads, dropping bombs on us. That's real scary. Anyways, I don't want to go all political, but yes, everyone hopes that Trump wins, whether they realize it or not. And he's not even like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, this is just how bad we are. That, like, please let this guy who's not dropping bombs on everyone win. Please let this guy who's only mildly medium level corrupt win, because the alternative is so much worse. And did you see, by the way, there was another gaffe. I think I talked to you guys about how when the Kamala Harris's husband was doing some rally thing or whatever, got in front of these people, and he comes out on stage or whatever. He says, you know, I am the husband of the next president of the United States. I was like, this big gaffe. Well, just recently, like a day or two ago, they introduced Kamala Harris to the stage, and the Democrat presenter, not her husband, who, okay, I forgive you. You're kind of whatever. You're all excited for your wife. No, this was the presenter at the rally introducing Kamala Harris by saying, the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. And it was just like, dude, they're not even like hiding this anymore. Like, Biden, you're not voting for Biden. This dude is stepping down on like day one. And imagine this woman. Holy Jesus. She literally extended the prison sentences of people for the purposes of slave labor. Get that through just think about that. Just ponder electing a person like that to president of the United States. Because that's so much better than Trump. So much better. Sorry, got to get past this. I will rant and rave all night long, and that's not what the stream is about. That's why I apologize to anyone who's like, shut it, Ash. Computer Robot says, Ash, you are eating something while you're on stream right now, aren't you? No, I am not. I was eating something before the stream. I am drinking wine, though. Let's see. Hey, Ash, this weekend I'm interviewing Brian Hill. And the following week, I'm interviewing co-creator of Stuptown, Justin Greenwood. Well, rock on, dude. I'm happy for you. Brian Hill seems like a cool guy. Try not to just be, you do you. I remember when I was your age in comics and being all starstruck and just being like, oh my God, it's a comic creator who writes my book that I love. I'm not making fun of you. I was that way too. So I know how it is. Now I just see them as they're no different than you and me. I don't like to put people on pedestal or idolize them unless it's Eric Breen, in which case I will suck his toes. Just kidding. That was shock value. Eric, don't get any ideas. Skip says, I'm the man of the hour. Too sweet to be sour. I'll leave them smelly capes to you fine folks. Aw. Well, Skip, you would be welcome, but I know it's not always your style to rant and rave. You're the upbeat one. You're the, which is fine. It's great. We need that too. But if you ever do want to be sour, well, you got a place. Jimmy says, I read Batgirl 50. Almost as good as America. See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, Eric? What did I tell you? Wolverine and Cyclops, a couple Wolverine dresses, Cobras Gene. Jeez. Eric says, dial it back, Jimmy. No book as good as America. America. Fuck yeah. Ash, you, the Republicans and Democrats, are going to continue to fight on Christmas and on New Year's. Can't wait to we all get just a break. Dude, the Republicans are in on it with the Democrats. They're the same. They have been the same party since Bush Sr. The whole New World Order thing wasn't just some random mentioning from the bushes. Like, this is a globalist establishment that's trying to, I don't want to say control the world. It makes it sound like Doctor Doom type cartoony thing, but it's true. There's a very much a big globalist movement. The thing about a globalist movement is this, which should scare anyone who's like, well, we should all just, get along and have, come together under one world government. No, that's a terrible idea. Because imagine Nazi Germany existing without any other countries to stop them. Imagine North Korea existing without anyone to stop them. Imagine China. Imagine old Soviet Union. Imagine imperialistic China. Not China, sorry. Imperialistic Japan. These countries can exist within certain limits because the rest of the world basically can intervene anytime and be like, no, stop this shit. It's usually they have to push far enough, which like Nazi Germany did, Japan did. China hasn't. China is on the bubble. The rest of the world's watching them going, please don't take it too far. We don't want World War III. This would be terrible. But under a one world government, the idea is there will not be a good government. Eventually, all good governments fall to bad governments. And then there's no one to stop them. It's a bad idea. Terrible idea. But that's why fascists want it. That's the whole idea of the Third Reich. Forgive me, Breen. I'm a blasphemer. You got to say 12 Hail Marys. Eric Breen's going out for back issues tomorrow. Nice. Find me a set of America Chavez, Eric. That's what I want. I want a set 1 through 12 of America. Skip says, man, he's the nicest, coolest dude. I'll definitely be in the chat for that one too. Yeah, I like Brian Edward Hill, if that's who you're still talking about. I've been talking to that guy on Twitter for a couple years now, and he's always just really good. And I don't suck up to him, man. I recently gotten a little bit of a contentious back and forth Twitter thing with him just a couple days ago about the elections. And you guys know me, man. I'm a contentious mother effer. Just I don't hold back, and it doesn't win me a lot of friends. I'll tell you what, that's for sure. It does not win me a lot of friends. But the friends that I have, they do know that I'm straight with them. I'm not the guy who's ever talking shit behind their back. I'm never, unloyal. I'm one of the loyalest, best friends you'll ever have if I float my boat. But not everyone wants honesty. Some people want their boots licked. But yeah, he's always been cool, and I actually broke off the conversation because I was like, hey, look, I don't want to, I'm just happy that you're talking to me. Like, you probably got 1 million fans and people begging for your time. So the fact that you came back and were talking to me about the election, like that's awesome. But I get that I'm not going to wear out my welcome. I was like, have a good one. He's always been real cool. I like Brian Edward Hill. Let's see. Dope, bro. I'm emailing back and forth with Dan Jurgens to get him on. Look at Jimmy just going to be the interview king. He's gonna be the Joe Rogan of comics YouTube, not me. Jurgens would be epic. Eric says, tell him you know Ash. Don't do that. Not if you want him on your show. No, I've never talked to Jurgens, but when Jimmy gets an interview with Brian Michael Bendis, I'll finally be able to retire from educating Jimmy. What are you talking about? That's when you need to come out of retirement, because Jimmy will have lost everything you guys... Are you guys even teaching him anything over there? Really? Come on. What's going on? I don't think there's any teaching. I don't think Jimmy's getting any education. That's not like public education. That's what it feels like. Let's see. Please tell that you are going to do that, Ash. I'm going to read another awful comic, start virtually telling writers, because I need a laugh right now. Computer robots, man. I know binary is your primary language, but I can't understand what the hell you said. Please tell that you are going to that Ash is going to read another awful. I can't do it. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of you. You must have got your typos or something. I'm able to attend that live stream quirks. I'll do my best to bite my tongue and hold my fingers back from telling Bendis what I really think. Yeah, I was on his. I came towards the end of the stream you did with Mark Russell. It's like, and I was just like, just zip it. This is Jimmy's stream. I'm not gonna say anything. Like, there's no reason to start any shit with them on. That's not what they're there for. And I'm not a troll. I can say what I want to Mark Russell on Twitter. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked, but I don't need to go there and harass anyone. Like, in fact, I'm happy that you know, if I had Mark Russell on my channel, I don't really do interviews, but if I did, I would be totally courteous to him. I wouldn't just be like, you know, why do you write SJW bullshit all the time? Like, I wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. But then I'd probably get harassed by everyone, be like, oh, Ash sold out. But you know, that's what you do. You just gotta treat people professionally. When you invite them to your house, you gotta be a good host. Let's see. I Am True Skills is here. He says, yo, Ash, how you doing? I'm doing good. Seeing that you showed up, man. I'm glad you could come over. We're just talking about chat. You guys are really active in the chat tonight. And that's cool. It's almost, if you guys were like this all the time, I could just have a stream where we just all shot the shit, shot the whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Skip says, I can come on Sour Capes for a Bendis book. I'll wait for that invite. Oh, okay. When we'll try to get a primo one lined up, and if we do, I'll keep you as on the top of the list. Every time Ash goes political, someone dies in a Walking Dead book. Damn it, Ash. Oh, that needs a drink. Speaking of drinks, did you guys catch that stream I was on with Perch? He does his Friday night drinking stream. Comics and Drinks, I think is what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. I had a blast on that stream. If you didn't catch it, I would urge you to go do the replay. Perch is a guy that we've been mutual followers on Twitter for several years before either of us had a YouTube channel. And he's very knowledgeable. He's a very even keel guy. I really like conversing with him because he's very conversational and he doesn't get offended easy. He has opinions. He's educated. And there's just something about when I converse with him, I thought it flowed really well. So I thought we had a really good conversation about a lot of different topics. I'm floating my own boat here. I thought it was really good. If I could just stream with Perch all the time, I could probably do that. I need someone of that caliber. It just makes me better. When I'm with a go host like Skip and Tosh, it just makes me better. I'm nothing by myself. Let's see. Ronnie says, to be fair, Bendis wrote Iron Man much better than Christopher Can't Write Well is currently. Oh man, yeah, I don't know. He really, you say that, but then go read the reissues. And you're like, well, wait a second. I don't know. Ash gets full credit for coming up with that moniker for the hack of an Iron Man writer. I thought of it with because he did Doctor Doom first, and I was all excited, man. Someone that watched my channel wrote a comment in the YouTube comments about, hey Ash, I know you like Doctor Doom and the new series coming out. It's written by Christopher Cantwell, and he writes this TV show which I can't remember. And he's like, you guys check it out. Like, he was the showrunner and he did a good job. And I was like, oh, okay. I did not know who Christopher Cantwell was at all, but I was like, cool. I took that recommendation to heart. And if you're the person that made that comment, by the way, thank you very much for the comment. And I am not at all slighting what you said. I obviously just had a difference of opinion. I don't even actually know what this person thought of the comic. That person was just going off the TV show. When that book came out, I paid for one of the variant editions, one of the, the ratio variants that cost more. Because it had the super kick-ass cover that I love. Probably my favorite Doom, like my favorite cover of Doctor Doom from any Doom book I've ever seen. I just loved it. So it wasn't too expensive. I think it was like $10 at the comic book store. And but I was like all jazzed. I was like, yeah, Doctor Doom's my man. It's got a good writer on it, apparently. I'm looking forward to this book. I read that book and I was like, I'm not picking the second one up. What the hell did I just read? What the heck? And I don't know, it just struck me. Can't well. And I was like, can't well. What can't you do well? Can't write well, apparently. Let me tell you though, his Doom book was miles better than Iron Man. I was like, because it was bad, but it wasn't like atrocious. It was just like, oh God, he just didn't get the character. And I was like, whatever. I wasn't super angry. I was just more like disappointed that I wasn't getting the Doom book I want. Iron Man is atrocious. Iron Man's stupid. He should change his name to Can't Write Even Halfway Well. Let's see. Dragon Ball says he killed Lori in Walking Dead. Ash just did. Lex Luthor for president. Well, can't be worse than Biden or Kamala Harris. Let's see. Isn't the Chinese president a little old woman? No, Chinese president's Winnie the Pooh. Come on. At least Bendis isn't the worst Iron Man writer for Marani anymore. That's an aspiration we should all shoot for. just don't be the worst Iron Man writer. Gotta keep scrolling. Can't keep up with the chat. Eric says, I'm still looking for America number 12, and that's my holy grail. Well, you better look for 2 of them, Eric. I need to get the whole series, 1 through 12. And you're the back issue Breen, so if anyone's going to find it, it's you. Marani says, Ash, contentious? Real talk. You're brutally honest. I appreciate that. Well, thank you. I appreciate it too. I appreciate you saying that, I should say. But I feel like when I'm contentious, I go out on a YouTube channel. Everyone's got the ability to like turn the channel. So I'm not forcing myself on anyone, right? If you're here, you like me being opinionated and whatever. Some people appreciate it because it's not targeted at anyone. It's just me, just unfiltered, Ash unfiltered. Let's see. Computer robots. I can't wait for Trump's reelection. I also supported Nixon, Reagan, and Bush, and McCain. Donald Trump always. Well, that was a big mistake supporting Bush and McCain. Those are complete fascist dickheads. But hey, I supported Bush on the first half of his election too. I didn't know any better. But actually, Bush is the one that red pilled me. I wasn't really a political guy until the second Bush term, and then all the shit that was going on with Bush, and the whole, just the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, and like, what are we actually there for? And all the money we were spending, the Pentagon lost like $2 trillion. Never mind a lot of the big controversies and stuff about surrounding 9/11 that I still know for a fact we were lied to. I know for a fact. I don't know what happened. I don't have a conspiracy theory, but I do know that I've seen irrefutable proof that the main story is a bunch of lies. Dude, Bush, you're the president while this is happening. One of the greatest attacks on American soil, and you lied to the American public about it. And by the way, firemen are dying. The heroes, FDNY, those guys that ran up the towers while everyone was running down, they're dying from lung poison diseases while the government just stands by and does nothing for them. Yeah, fuck them. Sorry, getting all political again. See, damn it, Melissa. Talk about comics, and no Hickman, because that'll set you off. Jimmy says, "Are they teaching me anything? It's official. Ash doesn't watch the show. Why am I here?" Because you're here to really learn, Jimmy. I'm gonna teach you a thing or two. The problem is you don't listen to me though. You don't respect me. Damn kids and their no respect. Agree or disagree with Mark Russell? He gave an hour of his time to Jimmy, and I respect that. I respect it too. I do too, and I respect Jimmy. So there was no way I was gonna go over to his channel, right? And like, I would want to support Jimmy, and so being negative and hostile in the chat would be counterproductive to his channel. So I just went over there, kept my mouth shut for the most part, asked a question because Jimmy put me on the spot and said, "Do you have a question, Ash?" And I was like, So I tried to ask something that was useful, and it seemed to go good. So I'm happy that Jimmy is getting all these comics pros. Let's see. Mark Russell ruined the Wonder Twins and the Flintstones, Snagglepuss with woke SJW garbage. Let's be fair, Melissa. The Wonder Twins weren't much to ruin. It wasn't like you remember that great Frank Miller Wonder Twins run that Mark Russell came and destroyed. Like, no, there were no Wonder Twins in the comic. They were stupid always. Mark Russell just brought the stupidity over to the comics. I don't think he ruined anything. He didn't make it good, but there was nothing to ruin. Let's see. You got to scroll down. Oh, is Nalo in the chat? Oh my God, look at that. Nalo is here. What's going on, Nalo? Nalo says it's going to take until February to get Decorum number 8. Oh shit. Skip, we got some problems doing a show about Decorum if it's only coming out like every other month. Let's see. Eric says, Ash, when is your next stream with Peter Tosh? Who's Peter Tosh? What are you talking about? Eric, you're getting senile. Not surprised as Skip. Been through it before with Hickman on indie books. Yeah. Fortunately, Skip and I got a plan. I'm going to fill it with Kirkman books. Because that boy, he don't have that problem. His books come out on time. He's usually like 10 books ahead. I love Robert Kirkman. He's a bomb. He may not be the best writer in the planet, but he might be the best comic publisher on the planet right now. I don't think Jim Shooter's doing anything. So Robert Kirkman, his Sky Brown studio under Image, primo. I love what they do. Even if I don't love all their comics, like just, man, they ship on time. They're consistent. He does promotions right. He just, he's just fan friendly. I mean, this the idea that he released Walking Dead 190, was it 196? 193? I think it was 193. The last issue, whatever the last issue of Walking Dead was. He released that like it was like an 80-page premium binding type of book for $3.99. It was as thick as Action Comics 1000 almost. I think it was like it because it had thicker paper. It was $3.99, and he didn't tell anyone it was the last issue. Like he faked 194 and 195 in the solicits to the stores, so that everyone thought, oh, okay, these books are coming out. And then when 193 released, then he broke the news and was like, this is it. This is the end. There is no further issues. So he could have probably not only charged twice as much for the issue, he probably could have sold 2 or 3 times as many just on the hype, but he didn't, because he's not a greedy asstard and he cares about his fans. And I just was like through the moon. I was like, dude, Robert Kirkman, you're the bomb. Yeah. So anyways, see, I'm talking about other things. Let's see. In chat, if Joe Biden wins, would be a reaction beat. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Ash killed the Punisher in Walking Dead. Oh, that was a good one, Dragon Ball. Good one. Let's see. Have you seen Dawn of the Dead? Yeah, that's pretty much the reaction. Eglantine, auctioned the last 2 issues of Walking Dead in his recent comic book auction, Ash. I saw. I was there. Thanks for remembering me, Maranya. Thanks. I can give Gene to Juggernaut. Juggernaut. Why can't I stop talking about X-Men? I won't have much of a reaction because my faith is not in the government or either party. Nalo says Oblivion Song is dope. And that's exactly how we said it too. You got my word on it. Nalo, I agree with you. You need to sell Skip on it. We need to get him hooked on this book. Oblivion Song is the best indie book on the stand, says Jimmy. I think Ascender is better, but I can see why someone would say Oblivion Song. Oblivion Song is definitely the best writing. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's got the best plot. I mean, I'm hooked on it, but Ascender is a full package. Ascender has the writing, it has the characters, it has the beautiful art and coloring. Like it hits so many points. I'm not a huge fan of the Oblivion Song art. It works for the book. I don't hate it, but if the book was mediocre, then okay, yeah. So, but the book isn't mediocre. It's amazing. I've been trying to get Skip to read Oblivion Song for like 6 months. Yeah, but Jimmy, this is the problem. You also try to get people to read Jason Aaron and Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Russell and all this bad stuff. So it weakens your credibility on recommendations. So it's like, you have to keep that in mind. When you like recommend everything, then your recommendations aren't as meaningful. Skip says, all I read it and it didn't really like it. Haha. What do you mean you didn't like it? You and I are going to have words. Skip says, that's right. He only read like the first issue or 2. So Skip needs, what we're going to do is we're going to try to encourage Skip to read the first whole trade and get through the whole first arc and then see if it intrigues him. Because if you only read like the first issue or 2, it doesn't really reveal all like what it can be, because that book really kind of explodes and the first couple of issues don't show you enough to see. But he says, but I'll reread it and talk about it. I don't have to like a comic book to talk about it. Yeah, but to be on the indie show where we're lavishing praise and love, you kind of do have to like it. I don't want you to just tolerate it. We can find another book that you love, but I do think actually you'll like Oblivion Song once you get into it and see that there's more to the story than just what you saw. But I could be wrong. Comics with Quirks with Jimmy says, if Ash and I can't get Skip to read Oblivion Song, then no one can. Oh, let's see. That Jason Aaron Thor run is so damn good, though, says Skip, contradicting me. Thanks, Skip. Nothing like a good partner having your back. Nothing like his Avengers stuff or even his Wolverine stuff. Scrolling down. My favorite part is when Thor dropped his hammer for a sex change. Yeah, that's the best. Gotta love that. Told you, Jason Aaron's Thor God of Thunder is great, says Jimmy. See now what you did? Do you see now what you did, Skip? Do you see? Now Jimmy's going to be high as a kite, bouncing off the walls. Skip says it's great. And he's going to screenshot it, and he's going to paste it all over his room, his wallpaper. Damn it. Marani says, I'm sad I missed the lessons on Longbow Hunters live. I finally read that. I love the micro art in it, especially love the more artistic pencil sketch panels in it. They suited the story well. Yeah, Longbow Hunters is something that I've kind of wanted to check out. If I ever check out Green Arrow, I figure like that's where to go. Everyone talks about. So I didn't really want to watch a show that's about spoiling the book. So even the Unworthy Thor arc when Jane Foster was Thor was super badass, says Skip. Skip. You're just encouraging the boy. He says, I knew there was reason we were bros. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Melissa says, Ash, I hope you like my gay Cyclops and Wolverine jokes because Hickman's run is a woke joke. I agree with you, Melissa. It is. I think it's a woke joke too. I just don't want to dwell on it. Like, there's only so much dead horse that you can beat. It's like that horse it's a bloody carcass. There's nothing left to beat anymore. So let's see. Maranya says, Englandine is correct. Longbow Hunters is the essential Green Arrow story. All right, I got to the end of the chat. Doom, doom, doom. We are here tonight to read the final issues of 2 Halloween comics. Today is the true holiday that Halloween is based off of. It's some occult holiday of something or other. So hey, it's still good. And in true celebratory fashion, well, I don't know. Did you guys go out and get yourself your half price Halloween candy? That's the thing you do when you become an adult and you can't trick or treat anymore. You go to the store on November 1st and you buy all the candy half price and you just get whatever you want. That's the trick. We are doing 30 Days of Night. This is by Steve Niles and Ben Templesmith. And whose channel was it on? Was it Englantine's channel? No, it was on Perch, on the Perch stream that I was talking to you guys earlier about. Ben Templesmith came in and joined the chat. So I got to tell him how much I like this book that I'm reading to everyone, probably not fully legally. he didn't say anything, but it's almost a 20-year-old book. He's probably happy to maybe get a little publicity towards it. Hopefully I didn't be like, hey, I'm just reading your book for free online so people don't have to buy it. I did try to sell it. Hopefully you guys can throw a couple dollars to Comixology or go buy the trade yourself if you're into vampire horror. This is a fun way to do. I like this book, really. There's some things. The art is a little raw, but his storytelling ability, and I told him this too in the stream, is spot on. And it is pretty scary. So let's see. RDV says, I have 55-gallon drums worth of candy. Why don't I doubt that? Let's see. You're not even a real Hellboy fan. Oh man, that's fighting words. Eric says, Jane is Thor like I am young and thin. No, Eric, what you should have said is Jane is Thor like Milky Way is good candy. That would be a little more accurate. Okay, let's get into 30 Days of Night. Oh, I gotta transition. There we go. Look at that. Let's get the cover. Look at that scary cover. Aren't you scared? I'm scared. I'm starting to like this Moscato wine. Pretty good. Pretty sweet. Tastes like gummy bears. All right, here we go. Barrow, Alaska. It was a small glimmer of hope. But with almost everyone in Barrow missing, dead, or lost, even a glimmer felt like something. The town is just on fire. Now, only death and the stink of burning flesh hang in the frozen air. When did it happen? Was it a bite? I tried to find Gretchen, but one of them saw me. I ran. I hid, but it grabbed me and scratched me. Why hasn't anyone come for us, Sheriff? They probably have. Those things got to them before they could help us. I can feel it inside me. Mrs. Ullman. I can feel it killing me. Stella's right. And for all we know, other towns are under attack. There may not be anybody out there to help us. Eben! I can't paint a pretty picture for these folks anymore. Those things are tearing the entire town apart. We can't fight. We can't run. The only thing that's done any damage was... You realize you're all going to die, don't you, Mrs. Ullman? There's nothing that you can do. We will have you one by one. We will have the blood. He's turning into one of them. Everybody move in at once. We can take him together. Get him. He's too fast. Look at his eyes. Watch out. Slash. Jump. He's crawling on the ceiling. It's going to get away. It will tell the others where we are. No, he won't. He's staying right here. Oh, gory. Just axed him in the head. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Hold him. Hold him. Get its head. Eben, what are you doing? He's still moving. We've got to get his head off. Swoosh. There. Gory. You okay? He changed so fast. What are you going to do with that? I'm not sure yet. They'll be tearing through here soon. All of the dead have been gathered. It's not the dead that I'm worried about. Where are the survivors? Where are they hiding? We are combing every inch of this wretched town and taking it apart as we move. We'll find them. You had better. I don't want any surprises. There it is. I see it. I wish Mama could see this. Recorder on, camera on. It'll probably take a while for these pictures to get back to you, Mama. But you were right. I can see them. The place is torn apart. There's blood everywhere. Oh no. I see you up there. I can smell your fear. Whoosh. Oh, it just leaps. Pictures are on the way, Mama. We got the proof. We got the proof. Bang. Listen. It's a helicopter. Stay where you are. We'll check it out. Don't move. Somebody's come for us. Sounds like it. We've got to get his attention. No, they'll hear us. They'll be on us like rats. The town is burning. There's carnage everywhere. They'll see it and send help. They have to. Ah, no. Where do you think you're going? Stay away from me. Send for help. No one will hear you. No one will come. Click, 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 click. Sending. Oh, that doesn't look good. And now we have a cause. Excellent. The entire event will be blamed on the crash. Begin the final search. Move house to house. If you find anyone, kill them and throw their bodies into the wreckage. We will create a puzzle that will never unravel. Let's get the others and run, Eben. We'll scatter. They can't get all of us. Let's just run. No, we won't stand a chance. If they don't get us, the cold will. I think I know how to beat them. I'm not going to let you die. Please don't do it. There's got to be another way. If there is, we haven't found it. I've only seen one thing kill them, and it was one of their own. If I don't do it, all of us will die. You don't know if it'll work. It's crazy. It's someone else's blood. Eben, don't. Both of them know it's something that they haven't had much of. It was a chance. I don't want you to. We'll make it. We'll get out together. All of us. Please, Eben, don't. However slim, however remote, it's a chance to live or die standing on their feet. I love you. It feels like fire. A fire that spreads mercilessly through his veins in seconds. Killing as it spreads. Burning. Infecting. Eben! Transforming. Say something. Please don't leave me, baby. I can smell your blood. Oh my God, Eben! Keep away from me. Keep away. I don't want to hurt you. Not you. Eben. Look what we found. A snack before we throw them on the pile. No. Leave us alone. Let us go. I think I'll have them both. Get the hell away from those kids. Huh? You want someone to bite? Bite me. Come on. Give us some room. The new blood wants to fight. Do you really believe you stand a chance? Hundreds of years' experience against a pathetic moment of desperation. Please. Crunch. What's more pathetic, me trying to save people, or you feeding off them to keep your rotting body alive for another day? You're all parasites, nothing but blood-sucking insects. You know nothing. I know what it feels like now. And it feels like shit. Crack. Squirk. It feels like endless hunger for endless life. Bullshit. Nothing but murder. Gas and deceit. And just like that, the undead stop laughing. Crunch. The tide of battle suddenly changes. Eben Ulamon begins to catch his rhythm, begins to feel his power. And they know it. This human turned undead catches on fast, frighteningly fast, enough to plant a seed of doubt, enough to lure the trapped from hiding. The curious and the fearful emerge, some who haven't breathed fresh air since the first wave. Crack. But this draws them out. Sheriff Eben Ulamon among the undead, killing them with ease and grace, inspiring the living. It all comes down to this: a showdown at the top of the world. Get out of my town. Should I go after them? They won't come back. We're safe. Besides, the sun will be coming up in a day or... It's getting hard to fight. I forget sometimes. And I feel this pain. You could hide. Live like they do. You could... Shh. That's not what I mean. I know. I could live forever, sure. But I don't want to breathe another second. if I can't remember what it feels like to love you. The end. It's pretty good. I thought in the first issue that whole, setting sun incident was pretty corny. And I was like, oh, geez. The wife's like, you got to sit here and watch the sunset. And he's like, all right, whatever. But seeing now how the book ends with the rising sun and they're together, it's poetic and heartbreaking. This is a good book. I liked it. This is one of the best horror comics I've ever read as far as just horror goes. I think it's hard to do horror in comics well. The only thing that I kind of was not appreciative of was I thought it was a little bit too convenient that he turns into a vampire, which I thought was cool. Like, it was cool he turned a vampire, but that he could fight the big elder guy that they established was way badass, more badass than any other vampires. Remember, like, he shows up and he just tears that other vampire apart because he, made mistakes. I don't see why the sheriff would be able to beat him in a fair fight. I think, critically speaking, I think that there needs to be some explanation of why he was able to win that fight. So that's the only thing that bothers me. But if I just accept that and say, okay, well, the rest of it I liked, and I thought it had good emotion, good twists and turns, really good. And especially in this era of modern comic writing, like, this idea of how to write a really good second act is a lost art. And Steve Niles just kept piling on the bleakness, like kept piling on, like, oh, you think they're going to find a way to, nope. Oh, look, here's a helicopter. Nope. And you're like, okay, something's finally going to come. We're going to finally have some hope. Nope. And it's really good, strong writing technique to write when your second act is bring the conflict, like, just hammer it home, make it seem like impossible odds, so that your final resolution of the conflict is that much more impactful, because the triumph is over something bigger. If it's just like something minor, like, oh, look, we just dealt, oh my God, there's a cockroach. Oh, I stepped on it. That's not a big triumph. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably not as eloquent as I would like to be, but I really appreciated that. This book really surprised me. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be a little taken back by the art. It's got some weird 90s edge style to it that maybe modern readers may not appreciate, but I liked it. Let's see what the chat has to say. Where was I? Man, you guys are just real talkative tonight. Damn, I gotta scroll up high. Here we go. RDV says he has Reese's Cups. That's because you got good taste in candy, RDV. Dragon Ball says I can draw as good as 30 Days of Night comic art. Well, can you paint as good? Because it's not all drawing. There was a lot of painting here. And more importantly, what's impressive about the art here isn't the illustration, it's the storytelling. Ben Templesmith's storytelling, his panel layouts, his composition, his sequential, sequential storytelling. I wish there were better terms to describe these things. These are all top notch. It really helped tell the story. It really helped so that Steve Niles didn't have to be really verbose. He could just let the art tell a lot, and you could just get some really cool dialogue, but minimal. It really helped what dialogue there was stand out. Let's see. I learned from Stan Lee's How to Draw a Book. It wasn't Stan Lee's. I think, wasn't that John Buscema that did that? But yeah, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way is a fantastic book. If anyone wants to draw comics, that is one of the primo books you should get. It has a lot to teach about comic art. Let's see. Eric says, I had about 3 Milky Way bars in 2020. I have a body by Reese's now. Wait, Milky Way is not made by Reese's. What is this tomfoolery? Best line out of context. We've got to get his head off. RDV says, wooden stakes do absolutely nothing. I don't know if that's true. We're going north, Alaska. Going north, the rush is on. Okay. Some talk about Professor Geek. Let's see. The art kind of fits the mood of the book, in my opinion. It's crude and rough, but it conveys the intent of the story. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Skip says, all right, my lovely friends, drink your milk, say your prayers, and eat your Wheaties in the morning. Have a great stream, Ash. Well, good night to you, Skip. I'm sorry that you're going to miss the big finale of The Long Halloween, although I'm assuming you've read that book already, so you won't miss too much. Speaking of having your milk and eating your Wheaties, man, I had a cookie tonight. Have you guys, well, I don't know if you've, there's a homegrown cookie maker out there that sells their cookies off Instagram, and they're called My Cookie Dealer. And these cookies are extreme cookies. And the name is perfect, My Cookie Dealer, because it's like getting crack. And you buy these cookies, and they're 8 ounces. They're half a pound per cookie. The best way I can describe them is, think of a softball, like a softball that's from the sport. Take a softball and like cut it in half, and then one hemisphere of a softball is like the size of the cookie. They're gigantic. Like, cut these things in 4 ways. It's about 4 cookies worth of cookie. You get a ton of cookie, and you buy them off online. You have to buy them from this person. They do it on Instagram, and it's like a super hard thing to get. Apparently, they release when the cookies are going on sale, and they like sell out in like 30 minutes. So you got to be there when they go, get whatever cookies you're going to get, and hope that you put your order in time, and then they ship them out to you, and they ship them to you almost done. Like, they're baked. They're just under baked a little bit, because they're designed so that you stick them in the oven and kind of just finish them. So then they come out hot and gooey. And so you bake them for like 10 minutes. And holy shit, they were fantastic. Yeah, they're expensive. You got to buy them. They're like $5 a cookie, and you got to buy a minimum order of 10. So you're gonna pay like $50. But like one cookie, it's huge. It'll be like 4. So you just bake one. And we split them amongst the family and stuff. Actually, we baked 2 and split amongst the family. But holy shit, these are fantastic. Just reminded me. So I wanted to share that. If you guys are interested, if you're gourmet cookie lovers, go look up My Cookie Dealer. You can do a Google search. You'll find it that way. And try to get yourself some. Let's see. Melissa says, wooden stakes paralyze vampires. Remember, Melissa, that every fictional world is different. So not everyone has the same rules. Let's see. Wooden stakes do nothing. Everything you are mentioning, they don't have access to. Uh, yeah, and again, it's just that's all the mythological things. I actually prefer stories where there's vampires and like most of the stuff that are supposed to work against them turns out to not really. It's all been folklore and just passed down like misinformation. I've always liked that. So then it adds to the horror, where because people are like, "Oh yeah, we'll just splash them with holy water," and then like splash it, it doesn't work, and they're like, "Oh shit, no." It's like, the only thing I think that should work against vampires like consistently is sunlight. I get a little annoyed when you do the twilight. Hey, look, they sparkle. Um, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. RDV says the movie spoiled the ending for me. Well, silly RDV. All right, so we're discussing the differences in fiction, and different people have different rules in their fiction. Vampires obviously have to apply to whatever world that they're in. So that's I mean, I don't really if you want Bram Stoker's Dracula to apply to any and all vampire stories, that you're right. I mean, you're gonna be you. I prefer people to have some creative freedom and create different worlds where vampires can be different than way that like the vampires from I Am Legend. They were not traditional vampires. I like that with everything though too. I don't want every zombie. Remember when they did 28 Days Later and the zombies could run? And it was like the first time. Like they're like, what? It totally made zombies like way scarier because you had never seen a movie like that. But like, you're like, oh my god, the zombies are running. What the hell do we do now? It's like, and of course, then ever since 28 Days Later, everyone's like, we can do running zombies too. And you're like, God, get your own shtick. I think actually I Am Legend is the scariest, where it's like a zombie horror, except they're not zombies, they're vampires. You're like, imagine just hordes and hordes of vampires, like a zombie movie, but with vampire. I could just like, I can run from zombies. They're brainless, but vampires, like armies of them. Oh, jeez. Speaking of which, man, that I read a series of books a while back called The Passage. God, I wanted to see that made into a good television show, like HBO would do it, give it the like Game of Thrones big epic treatment. Oh, I want to talk about a great vampire story. Oh, The Passage is phenomenal. And instead, like, I think CBS got it and did it, and they so effed it up. I was like, what the hell am I even watching here? This doesn't even look like the book at all. I was so pissed. And then now it'll never get made because they tried. Like whenever someone gets the rights and tries it and fails, it's not like someone else says, "Oh, we'll do it better." Like nope. Now it's done. We're never gonna get it. Anyways, if you're a book reader and you want like a cool vampire story that's unlike any you've ever read, think of it's like it's vampire, but told in the future, like of like apocalypse, like Mad Max style apocalypse, because the world has succumbed to armies of vampires, so there's not much civilization left. So it has that aspect of it, and it's also kind of got the big epic societal like conflicts, because like it's a broad scope story. It's not just like one couple characters. Like it's about what's left of civilization. And in that aspect, it kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones because it had a lot of like the political kind of higher level stuff to it. Really cool story. Oh God, they could have done so much with that. Anyways, where are we? RDV says 28 Days Later was awesome. Yes, it was. Let's see. I wish I could remember the anthology I read like 20 plus years ago. Had a variety of vampire tales. Not all followed Stoker's mythology. All were sold. solid within their own universes. Let's see. Melissa, vampires have been around since ancient times because of myth. But that myth is, it's word of mouth. And in fact, they believe that a lot of the myth that comes from vampires is actually based on real biology, because there are real conditions like where people are like allergic to sunlight. It's actually a really, really rare condition, but the people can have this, and it's really trippy. I've seen some documentaries on this, and they talk about how like that people that have this condition, like one of the remedies, not like a cure, but one of the remedies to like help ease the symptoms and pain and stuff was consuming blood, and some like weird tie-ins to like how they think like maybe in the past people had these conditions and then myth formed around it. Like one of the things that used to happen was would people be buried alive because hundreds of years ago they didn't have modern medicine. They didn't really understand like vitals, and like people could go into comas and they'd be like, oh, they're dead. And so they'd bury them alive, and like people would like wake up as they're being buried. And of course, the lack of knowledge of science and things like that, people would think like, oh my God, it's an undead like thing. And so one of the things that they would do is drive a stake through your heart because that will kill you. You do not wake up from that. And so there's some theories that the myth of vampires formulated around that, is parts of the myth formulated around that. So there's a lot of that stuff. And again, that's just coming from folklore that like spreads over time, and not all of it is always the same. Like, and Bram Stoker himself pulled from folklore the things that worked, for his ideas. And Bram Stoker invented his own concepts, his own idea that Vlad the Impaler made a deal with the devil so that he could be reunited with his lost love. But that's not where vampires come from. So every writer brings something new, is what I'm trying to say. And it's one thing to kind of want to stick to tradition. Like I make fun of Twilight because I don't like the sparkly vampires, but realistically, no one owns vampires. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. Like I think the sparklies is kind of silly, but okay. I like the zombie vampires in I Am Legend. I don't think that there's any hard rules. And furthermore, if you're going to tell a story that acknowledges that there's myth, then you kind of have to actually make some of that stuff not true in your story. If you're writing a story that's self-aware about people who are like, oh, vampires only exist in myth, then the vampires that actually exist in your story it's another reality outside of that myth, and it only makes sense that they don't follow that mythology exactly. This is a big reason why Robert Kirkman never calls a zombie, because in his world, the people that inhabit the world of The Walking Dead, those people do not have a zombie mythology. They haven't heard of zombies. So when they first encounter zombies, they're just like, what the hell are these? They're just walking dead people. And because he's trying to establish this idea, like obviously if you and I saw a zombie, we have a term for that. And we have an idea traditionally how they operate. But in reality, if a zombie existed, why would it follow what fiction has set before it? It wouldn't. And when you're trying to create a story, you're trying to establish that story is reality and the things that are based on are fiction. And so naturally, there's going to be discrepancies. That's hopefully that made sense. Let's see. Jimmy's watching Dawn of the Dead right now because he gets bored of my streams. Let's see. Porphyria is the disease that they feel gave rise to traditional vampire mythology. Yeah, I should leave it to Marani. She always knows all the rare diseases and stuff. RDV says he's part werewolf. Just because they have hairy palms, RDV, doesn't mean you're a werewolf. Ash, throw the ball. Let's see. I love vampires, and I'm happy with putting my own version into the world. Says Jimmy, the vampire blasphemer. That's what we'll call Jimmy. Vampire blasphemer. Let's see. I love classical traditional monsters too, Melissa. I love stories and follow their own internal logic and their rules. RDV says, I'm not mad. I'm just saying that there are other interpretations of lore. I find it boring, and everyone does the same damn thing. Yeah, and I mean, also, if you're trying to write fiction, and look, if you're writing fiction and you want to say, this is like an example. I had like a little argument with Jimmy because he wants to write a vampire story, but he wants to use Dracula in it. And he wants to like totally change it and stuff. I'm like, well, Jimmy, dude, like that's not Dracula. Like, if you want to do vampires, it's different. But if you're doing an established character, but then you're going to butcher it, then all you're doing is Bendising it. But if you want to say like you want to do superheroes, you don't have to do superheroes the Marvel way. They don't own superheroes. DC was first. You don't have to do it the DC way. You can go and do superheroes your own way. And we've seen that happen a lot, right? Like The Boys has done superheroes a completely different way. So I think that's good. I think when you have a genre, I would say superheroes and vampires are sort of genres of their own. You don't have to be like hard, like this is the only way they can be done. Now, if you are going to do DC heroes, if you're going to do heroes that exist in the world of Superman, well, then you are a little bit more obligated to follow some of the rules and guidelines that have been set forth in that. Henceforth, if you're going to do vampires in the world of Bram Stoker's Dracula, same type of thing. If you're going to be Twilight and be like, we're going to do my own thing. It's like, okay, whatever. There's no rules. So that's just my opinion. Ronnie says, that's why I get so ticked off with most modern comics. They don't follow the lore that's been established, and the lore that they do follow doesn't make sense for the characters. Right. But if you, conversely, Marani, and I'm guessing you'll agree, if they do like a side imprint, like say Vertigo, those characters can follow a completely different lore. Like they don't have to follow the one because they're establishing, hey, this is a different universe, if you will. RDV says, I will Bendis this channel. I beat you to it. Let's see. Jimmy says, my story is not in the world of Bram Stoker's Dracula, but I'm using Dracula. Did you hear what you just said? My story is not in the world of Superman, but I'm using Superman. Anyways, I prefer the Hellsing anime. You would. All right. Without further ado, before Melissa gets upset or anyone else gets upset, we had some healthy discussions here. Everyone's free to have their own opinions. You like what you like. I liked that 30 Days a Night. I hope you guys did too. Everyone was busy arguing about vampires. We should have been talking about 30 Days a Night. I am reading here the final long-awaited chapter of The Long Halloween. Boy, this was long. 13 months in the making. 1 month in the reading. Here we go. The Long Halloween. Part 13 of 13. I can't wait to see where this story goes. Labor Day in Gotham City. I am Holiday. Dun dun dun. The calendar man was right. We had something the holiday killer wanted. Sal, the boss Maroney, once the chief rival for control of Gotham City. Now Maroney is dead, and while there are few tears that will be shed at his passing, Holiday has claimed another victim. No. I shot you down. A Kevlar vest. More than enough to stop a 22 at close range. I've got the gun. Take him. Such a small gun. Clock. Gee, who could be in that armor? And yet, it caused so much destruction. Not unlike the gun that killed my parents. This is only the beginning. God, that's so Frank Miller. I didn't realize how much, like, Tim Sale just... I don't want to say that he's totally... But it feels like Frank Miller so much right there. Alberto Falcone is Holiday, the son of Carmine the Roman Falcone, Gotham City's untouchable crime lord. On New Year's Eve, Alberto was killed, another of Holiday victims. The city coroner confirmed his death. I went to the grave myself. The city coroner confirmed his death. And yet, for nearly a year, this serial killer has held Gotham City in his grasp. His identity unknown, only that he struck on holidays. I suspected Harvey Dent, the district attorney, my friend. I was wrong. Batman, enough. I won't let you do something that we'll both regret. I made a promise to my parents to protect this city from the evil that took their lives. If I am to succeed, I must be willing to deal out the punishment. Then do what needs to be done. Alberto Falcone, you are under arrest for the murder of Salvatore Moroni. You have the right to remain silent. Gotham Examiner. Holiday killer caught. Days later. Falcone, you have a visitor. Holiday. Alberto Falcone is Holiday. He faked his own death on New Year's Eve to throw us off. Then he continued undaunted, cherry-picking his father's enemies. My son. In July, he killed the city coroner, who must have known that the wrong body was in Alberto's grave. In August, he killed his Aunt Carla, who went looking through the coroner's files. All the clues were there. Why couldn't we stop him sooner? I blame myself. I suspected Harvey Dent, the district attorney, my friend. But Alberto could not have done this alone. His father had to have known it was not his son in that grave. You need anything? I can get you a pair of those eyeglasses you like. The purple ones? No, I don't need anything. Thank you. I can get you out of here. You plead guilty to killing Maroney, and only Maroney. And I can fix that. Only if you let all this other nonsense about Holiday go. Nonsense? Do you even know when my birthday is? I'll give you a hint. It falls on a holiday. Is it Christmas? New Year's? Father's Day? All right, let's just calm down. It is February 14th, Valentine's Day. Not that you would know, since you had business to attend to every single year. I thought you understood. I do understand, Papa. It's why you sent me away to Oxford. You didn't want my help even when I offered. You didn't want me in the family business. You and your father, and his father before that. You thought that Gotham City was synonymous with organized crime, but Gotham City has changed. It doesn't want your kind anymore. Now, look at me. I'm bigger than all of you put together. I am Holiday. The Roman must have known. Halloween night in Gotham City, the home of Harvey and Gilda Dent. Take your time. There's plenty for everyone. Oh, look at the cute little kids trick-or-treating. Remember when we used to do that in America? I miss those days. Gilda. Barbara insisted that she wanted to take the baby, James, out and show him all the, Hi. Long time no see. Barbara. You can't imagine what it's like. Every time the doorbell rings and it's just the kids who want candy. I go to the door, hoping he'll be there. Where is my husband? Is he even alive? Where's my Harvey? Meanwhile, at Arkham Asylum, identity unknown. Jonathan Crane, Pamela Isley, Julian Day. Flip. Sorry. The Roman's penthouse. How dare he defy me? My own son. Crash. He's going to the gas chamber when I could have stopped the whole thing. Alberto. Sophia, I want everybody downstairs now. Yes, Papa. This is bad. Bad. Very bad. Trick or treat! What is this? What needs to be done? What the hell is that supposed to mean? How much longer did you think I could let the Falcone family tear Gotham City in half, splitting the city between good and evil? My city. Nice gun, Light. 22 caliber. The perfect weapon to kill you with. Do it then. When we'll decide who gets this city. I'll burn it all down before I let a freak have it. Meow. Ah. My father had an old dictaphone. He kept it in his study. He would make recordings. I can still hear his voice. When faced with an seemingly insurmountable problem, your only option is to act swiftly, some might even say irrationally, removing the most dangerous elements first, and methodically attacking each subsequent challenge in a separate but deliberate manner. He was referring to surgery. Solomon Grundy, the Joker, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, Catwoman? That's me. In rebuffing her advances on Independence Day, have I lost an ally? Whose side are you on? The same side I'm always on. Batman. Again and again, the courts will send them back to prison or Arkham. They will escape, and we have the same problem again and again. Harvey? Harvey is gone. Two-Face is more like it, don't you think? If you pull that trigger, how are you different from the Roman? That's Jim Gordon talking. You know the system doesn't work, that justice can be decided like the flip of a coin. Blam, blam! 2 shots to the head. If you ask me, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Papa! Papa! Dent, you bastard, I'll kill. It's finished. What's done is done. I'll kill you. Don't, Sophia. I'll kill. Don't. Sophia. You still believe in Gotham City? You were married here. You want to start a family. If nothing else, think of Gilda. Gilda? Give me the gun, Harvey. Nice try! Across town. Soon. Working late again, Vernon? Who? You have to answer for Harvey Dent. Somebody gave Maroney the acid to throw in Dent's face. Somebody who saw Maroney just before he entered the courtroom. That somebody is you. Vernon Fields, assistant to District Attorney Harvey Dent. You believe in the justice system, don't you, Vernon? You didn't spend all those years in law school for nothing, right? And you know justice has 2 sides, innocent or guilty. Like this coin. One side clean, the other side scarred. Please, don't kill me, Mr. Dent. Too late. The roof of the police station. I've killed twice tonight. I did what needed to be done. For now. Why? I did what needed to be done. You'll never convince me of that. Harvey, my God, what's happened to you? There won't be any judges to be bribed. No witnesses who will disappear. The Roman is dead, and I killed him. The long Halloween is over. We'll get you help. You're the ones who are going to need help from now on. Harvey, you betrayed everything you believe in. Not everything. Arrest me, Jimbo. We'll see how the law and order handle Harvey Dent. 1 second. You both know, don't you? There were 2 holiday killers. What? What do you think he meant? That there were 2 holiday killers. Alberto Falcone confessed to all the holiday killings. He's going to the gas chamber. Harvey is obsessed with the number 2. We'll never know for sure, but tonight was Halloween. Harvey Dent killed the Roman with the 22. The last holiday murder. In the end, Harvey Dent was Holiday 2. Was it worth it? The promise that we made to bring down the Roman. What it cost us. Harvey. If you're asking me, did the good guys win? Yes. The good guys won, Batman. But I won't know if it was worth it for a very long time. The home of Jim and Barbara Gordon. Jim? I heard you arrested Harvey Dent on the police scanner. I'm so sorry, Jim. What are you going to do now? What I have to. Continue. I believe in Gotham City. I made a promise to my parents that I would rid the city of the evil that took their lives, no matter what that evil looks like or becomes. I believe someday I will make good on that promise. I have to. I believe in Batman. Arkham Asylum, Thanksgiving. Groundhog Day, Secretary's Day, Flag Day, Ash Wednesday, Earth Day, Boxing Day, Calendar Man, Holiday, Arkham Asylum, Christmas Eve, Gilda, the former home of Harvey and Gilda Dent, Christmas Eve. Harvey, I did what needed to be done. Do you remember? You promised we would finally have time together. When you didn't have so much work to do. I read your case files about taking serial numbers off guns and about how a baby bottle nipple would muffle the sound, how clues left at the murder scene. And I thought, if I did that, Batman would think it was someone extraordinary and not me. Not me. I used your hat and coat for disguise and left those things at the killings. Johnny Vitti was the first. Then again, on Thanksgiving, I left the hospital while you slept. And again on Christmas. But when Alberto Falcone was shot on New Year's, and you came home late that night, your hair was wet even though you were wearing a hat. A hat! I found the gun in the basement. You told me it was evidence. But I knew you had the same idea as me. You picked up where I left off. So we could have time together. A child. A secret. Let them think it was Alberto. No one will ever find out. Because they don't have you to help. You are my Apollo. You can do no wrong. I believe in Harvey Dent. Damn. That was an excellent issue. That wrapped up things quite nice. I did not see that epilogue coming. Damn. Hit me like a sucker punch. Now I gotta just close everything up here. Get back to the comments. There we go. Let's see. Where do we go? Okay. Ronnie is saying, right, as long as the lore then the story established is not broken on a whim for a reason, Elseworld stories with established characters I can accept. Now we're still talking about that. So Long Halloween is like the elephant of comic book story arcs. It takes at least that long to have a baby elephant. I think baby elephants gestate for 2 years, so it's not quite that long, but I get your point. Let's see, Van Helsing TV show on Sci-Fi, gender bent Dracula, Trisha Helfer is Dracula. Oh, who cares? Nonsense. Melissa says, read Fables by Bill Willingham. Big bad wolf in the story meets Bram Stoker and influences him to make Dracula by framing the Count, possibly Vlad the Impaler. A friend is. I do want to check out Fable sometime, for sure. Ronnie says Tim Sale paid homage to Frank Miller in that panel, for sure. I mean, the Frank Miller art homages are all over the place. RDV says no spoilers, Melissa, which is good point. No spoilers. I trick-or-treated back in the day in homage to Raggedy Ann. Nice, Raggedy Ann, that'd be cool. RDV says he went as Michelangelo for my first Halloween. Wow, you went as a famous Renaissance artist? Did people recognize? Like, that's interesting. Sorry, that was a loud ice drop in my steel cup. Let's see. Better than Ultimate Spider-Man, though. Yeah. RDV says, I never liked the art in this book. That's what made Long Halloween for me. You didn't like the art? Jeez, RDV. You're so picky. You can never please RDV. He just hates every comic. Just kidding. Catwoman was yelling Sophia and Ash reads it. Was yelling Sophia and Ash reads it as a whisper. There's always a critic. Let's see. He was Den's friend till he double-crossed his mobster side of his personality. Oh, Two-Face is a cool, super badass in the story. Yeah, I do like that Superface is a cool. I one of my little nitpicks on the Christopher Nolan Batman was they kind of made Two-Face kind of a second fiddle. Like I always feel like Two-Face is one of the biggest Batman villains, and having him play second fiddle, like Scarecrow did, I was like, just whatever. It's Nolan's world, but I like seeing Dent here be like a bigger deal. In fact, Joker felt out of place a little bit, but I think the whole point was, since this was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Batman Year One, and the whole thing about Batman Year One, there's no real villains, like it's just mobsters and stuff. So I really liked how this book does what Frank Miller really never got a chance to do, and establish like now's the time of the crazy people that came in, which does lend to the story argument that, you know, all the crazy kooky weirdos didn't come until Batman came. Like he sort of brought that. We'll see. Let's see. Dent may still be good deep down. I read Arkham Asylum, A Serious House on Serious Earth. Well, Dent is good deep down. That's the whole thing. He's sort of got multiple personality disorder, so he's got two sides to him. The Dent side, which has the clean word balloons, still believes in that, but he thinks that Two-Face has too much control, so he can't separate from Two-Face. So that there's not much he can do. And that's why Batman, it makes for good stories, because Batman still sees his friend in there. It's not just some crazy killer. RDV says, when I found out it was the Dents, I cheered. Jeez, RDV, it's not supposed to be something you cheered for. Jimmy says that was a good ending. Yeah, that was. I like twists within twists. I like when you're like, oh, at the end, like, oh shit, it was Falcone's son all along and he wasn't really dead. Like the coroner, like, oh, that's cool. And then it's like, no, there was another holiday killer. You're like, oh, dude, there was another one. Oh yeah, because it was actually Two-Face. And he killed on the last day. And like, oh, okay. And it's like, nope. It was not even like, it wasn't even Falcone all along. It was Gilda. You're like, what? Just like it just kept revealing itself. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Fun fact: Jeff Loeb helped to create Teen Wolf. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Nolan Two-Faces have multiple personalities. Oh, yeah, no, that's Two-Face has multiple personalities. Mr. Negative Spider-Man's Two-Face, or a ripoff. I don't know. Best symbolic presentation of Two-Face is in Batman the Animated Series. It's clear-cut, black and white, good and evil. Alberto, people say he's gay and flamboyant. That's why Falcone is disowning him. What? That's out of left field. Oh, man. It is after midnight, and we have come to a close of Storytime Live Halloween edition, all Halloween, all October. I should have come up with some cool name like that. Thank you guys for being here. There was several of you that have participated in probably every stream. I don't know if you guys, if is there anyone that made every single stream? I should have kept track of that, but what else? What the hell? Let's see. Jimmy says, is anyone else tired of Marvel movies? Lots of people. That's why no one seems to talk about Marvel movies anymore. And Disney sort of beat that into the ground. Melissa says, I read Alberto's possibly gay, but they never mentioned it. Sure, I guess. It doesn't matter. It's not relevant to the story. So if he is gay, I'm glad they didn't mention it, because there's no point, right? It's like they don't need to mention that Batman's straight. I just wish writers would leave sexuality out of the stories. But Jeff Loeb's a good writer, so thankfully we get good stories. The only thing I really want for next year is Superman and Lois to be good. I wouldn't hold your breath. Or is Alberto a nerd or just weak? So, that's a good question, Melissa. My take on the whole Alberto thing was that it was actually a bit of a tragedy here, because Falcone, my take is that Falcone saw his son as a good boy and didn't want him to be in the crime business. He wanted his son to do good for himself, not be corrupted, not be part of this. Also probably recognized that he probably was a little bit weak and probably wouldn't, even if he was in the crime family, he wouldn't survive, right? And so gave him a top-notch sent him to Oxford, so like he got a top-notch education, did all these things that in his mind is like, look, I'm keeping my son out of this, so he'll be safe and he'll get a good education. He can do well for himself, and he won't have to worry about, getting arrested and spending his life in jail because he's my son. And then at the same time, though, in so doing, his son becomes cold and bitter and resentful because his dad's not giving him attention, and he thinks his dad doesn't care about him. So it sets up this twisted tale of tragedy where the son actually does become a killer and bad. And it's exactly everything that Falcone was trying not to do, and he ends up doing it. And that's my take on it. And I think that's fantastic storytelling. On top of the whole mystery of who was Holiday and all that stuff, there was this tragedy going on, and I think it's beautiful in its tragic sense. That it has all the makings of a good tragedy, and it's sad to watch, and it's just ironic, and that's what tragedy should be. So yeah, that's my take. I don't know, the book doesn't completely state that. I mean, and good writing never should. It just let you insinuate. But RDV says, Ash, what are the next books? Well, you just have to find out. You have to come by and see. The reason why the son gives for killing is perfectly valid. Geez, Marania, something you want to tell us? I don't know if that's a good reason for killing people, but I think what you meant was it makes sense. I don't know if he's validated. Oh, my dad ignored me all my life. I get to kill people now. It's validated. Listen, he's got a better dad than my son Jake had. His biological dad abandoned him. Stepdad died from alcoholism. Yeah, that's also tragedy. Jimmy says, I will see you on Discord, Ash. I am not going on Discord tonight. I have to get up early in the morning. And if I stay up on Discord, I have a tendency to stay on their hours when I don't want to. So I need to get off. As a matter of fact, I should not have had that glass of wine in hindsight. Alberto looks like the robot chicken nerd. Alberto didn't kill anyone. That's the sad thing. He just wanted to get even with the old. Oh, geez, nailed it, RDV. Yeah, you're right. He just took credit for the killings. Wait, no, he did kill. Did he not kill? No, there was 2 Holiday killers. I thought he killed someone, and then Gilda started filling the. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm not 100% sure now. If he didn't kill anyone, was just taking credit, that even makes the tragedy that much more crazy. Wow. Marani says, good night, Melissa. I appreciate your opinions on things. They help me think and evaluate my own. Very nice. Well, guys, we're coming to a close. This is the hardest part of saying goodbye. I really do appreciate anyone that's here, whether you're in the chats or you're just lurking behind the scenes. Hopefully you're getting some entertainment, some comics read. by me and my poor reading style. I am certainly no professional voice actor, although it is fun. It's really fun to read the comics out loud and try to, be dramatic. It's very different than reading to yourself. When you read to yourself, you have a different pace. You can go through fast. When you do it out loud, it really forces you to hit the beats, and that can really matter actually when you're doing a comic that's visual and meant to be played out like that, like a film. Hopefully, I hit those beats right. Hopefully, I do the voice reading decent. Hopefully, some of the chit chat is stimulating, and hopefully, it lets you have a good night. I hope you had a good Halloween. We will be doing the next episode on Tuesday. I do have some comics that I'm considering. I haven't nailed anything down. I'm going to have to think about it. Hardy V says, dang, another person died in The Walking Dead. So I appreciate you being here, showing your support. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Same Ash time, same Ash channel.